Let's take a look now at what else is making headlines with Catherine Peerybingle. Great to see you, Catherine. Thank you for joining us. Let's start with this first one in the Nine papers. The headline is "They're everywhere. Why touch screens are causing huge accessibility problems," and they outlined the story of Nadia Mazziazzo. What has her experience been in this story?
Well, Nadia has vision impairment, and as technology is moving so fast, big business seems to be leaving out a huge portion of our disability community. So touch screens are literally everywhere, from restaurants, fast food chains, QR codes now on tables, airports, even in the taxi ride over here, it was a touch screen. So if you have vision impairment and you're not able to touch the screen, feel the braille, you're starting to now exclude a huge portion of our disability community. And it's not right. We have to have inclusive processes in our technology.
Surely there must be a way, isn't it? I mean, you can still use touch screen, but at the same time have some raised bits on the screen itself. Would that help?
Absolutely. It's a touch panel. This is how, you know, our vision impaired part of the community feel and make their way throughout this life. And it's not just specifically for vision impairment. There are lots of other disabilities that simply cannot access touch screens. So if you think about going to McDonald's and you have a physical disability that doesn't allow you to reach the touch panel, or if you have dyslexia, I mean, there are lots of other conditions that technology is no longer catering for. And big businesses, big government need to have these conversations with advocates from the inception process.
And the answer you would imagine lies in tech as well, so they would be able to find that solution, given they find solutions for most things. If we can move on to another story now, Catherine, in the ABC. It's a shocking, very sad story about the NDIS care provider being fined for negligence. Can you tell us about this story?
Yeah, look, this is a landmark case, and I'm actually really grateful that this has actually happened, because service providers need to be held accountable. The NDIS is there to support our most vulnerable. This beautiful woman should not have passed in the circumstances that she did. And providers seem to have had this level of immunity within the scheme up until this point. And I think we're going to start seeing new cases in coming years that show negligence from providers.
And I might just say they were fined for breaching the NDIS Code of Conduct and Practice standards. I'm not sure if the term was negligence, which I use, but that is what was the federal court found on that.
And this is, as you say, a landmark case. So you actually think that there'll be more of these sort of cases being prosecuted?
Absolutely. There has been a level of immunity for providers, and it needs to cease, because there are incidences every day. There is trauma every day, and these people need to be held accountable.
Yeah, they certainly do. Let's move on to this last story. This is from the New York Post, and it's about Don Triplett. I didn't realise that Don Triplett was the inspiration for the movie Rain Man.
Yes.
Now, he's passed away at the age of 89.
I know, what a incredible story. His parents were phenomenal, reaching out to the Johns Hopkins University after doing a 22-page encounter of his quirks and things that he would do on a daily basis. Don was a savant, mathematical genius, worked at a bank, loved to travel, was pitch perfect. And I think for the autism community, he certainly opened many doors for this conversation and for my children and for the whole community. So I think he's a beautiful man, and may he rest in peace.
You mentioned his parents there, Catherine, that 22-page letter detailing his aptitudes and behaviour. That letter is still a very poignant reference point for the medical community?
Correct. It's regarded as case one. So it is still referenced as part of now what we know as the DSM-5, which is the medical diagnostic criteria. I mean, yes, again, what a life, what a legacy. And to have those parents support him from his entire life journey, that's just a beautiful way to live, isn't it?
And just a final note on that, some of the tributes that have flown for him, for people that he worked with in his professional life, he made such an impact, and he was clearly adored and had a wonderfully professionally satisfying life.
Correct, he did. Yeah. The CEO of the biggest bank in his area just said he will be absolutely missed. Yeah. He was a genius. He was such a pleasure to be around. What a legacy.
Indeed. Catherine Peeryborough, so good to have you on the show. Thank you so much.
Thank
we look forward to next time.
Thank you.